Friday, September 17th, 2021. Today on the Daily Review, we discuss the last Norm Macdonald stand-up special, released on Netflix in 2017, entitled Hitler's Dog, Gossip and Trickery, with your host, me, Joe LaRocca, with my internet show. Yay. So original. Okay, yes, it's Norm Macdonald. I will say officially that comedy is dead. You know, you take away Norm, you take away Louis. You got Dave Chappelle only basically giving us like educational political lectures, which I totally think he should be doing. But yeah, it's over, man. You know, I mean, I know you guys like fucking John Mulaney or whatever and like that kind of stuff, but that's not this, you know. No offense to John Mulaney, I guess, but, you know, Norm is a pure comic, you know. He's a nightclub comic, and I would put him as one of the best ever. Up there with Pryor and, you know, Carlin. And for sure, and I know my dad will be like, but I'll tell you, Dad, watch all the Norm stuff. You'll like him if you haven't seen much of it. You don't have Netflix, but yeah, if you have Netflix, watch this. It's pretty timeless. Although he does use the word gypped once, and I was like, oh, that will be frowned upon in a year or so. The word gypped, because I guess it is racially or culturally insensitive. Anyway, other than that, unless you don't have a sense of humor, it is it's fine. It's going to be fine in 10 years or in 50 years. It'll be fine. I think it's going to stand the test of time. You know, he's the king. So, and this is not, you know, I should have reviewed this years ago, but I didn't have a show then. No, but, you know, this, I'm not just doing this because he passed. I didn't want to do it on the day he passed, but, you know, people who know me know that I'm not like riding the algorithm to review this, you know, whatever. But honestly, the day it happened, well, I'd already reviewed something that day, but then the next day I was going to do this, but it was like, I don't know. I was like afraid I'd get too emotional, which I know is crazy because I don't like know the guy or anything. But, you know, very few celebrity deaths have actually affected me. I mean, the only one that's ever genuinely affected me, where I had like the emotions I'd have if like somebody I knew died, which was Philip Seymour Hoffman, especially the way he died. And Anton Yelchin actually affected me a great deal, but this one was the one where where it's like, it's because he hid the cancer for 9 years. He died of cancer and didn't tell anybody, family, friends, anybody. And it just kind of gives an extra level of depth to a lot of his jokes, and because he would joke about God and death and even cancer a little bit, you know. And so there's been so many famous bits being bandied around the internet and all, you know, on all social media and stuff. It's a good thing, you know. You know, especially the Conan clip, chairman of the board, you know, that whole thing. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you aren't super familiar with him, familiarize yourself with him. I think he is the best late night guy ever. I think that may be when SNL was the best too, that time period. But as Lorne Michaels always said, that everybody's favorite SNL cast is who was ever the cast when they were seniors in high school. And it's pretty true. I think that makes sense. Anyway, it's raining in the forest, guys. I'm just going to go through some of my favorite bits here. I'm not going to do them, but it builds nicely. He starts with a bit about, you know, stories were told, like George Washington chopping down the cherry tree and his take on that, and jokes about, you know, more horse shit from the big acid companies, talking about how he likes to stretch his drug dollar and stuff. But the part where it really starts, you know, amping up to some real good stuff is when people say, suicide, I just don't get it. He goes, you don't? You live in a cotton candy house or something like that? And that whole thing leads into autoerotic asphyxiation and the risk reward of that. And like, I don't know, it's so good. Or he talks about photography, how we have magic phones and how photography used to be this thing and how everybody always looks scared. And all, I'm not, whatever. I prefer the lunar capsule. And then his take on fables and kind of idioms and stuff like that, like whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And he's like, well, no, in reality, whatever, metaphorically that works, he says, but literally whatever doesn't kill you makes you weaker and will probably kill you the next time it comes around. And now we know that he was talking quite specifically about himself and cancer. But it builds up to his World War II stuff and how he's only afraid of the country Germany. And I don't know if you're students of history or not. Yeah, so good. And like that kind of stuff, some of it you might have seen. He did a bit of it on Letterman's last show, which has become was famous before this classic. So I don't know, just an important guy for me. I think he's super funny, and he sticks with the joke. He's not afraid to say what ever is on his mind, and it's always like really just. Taking on OJ and stuff was awesome because OJ killed those two people. I'm sorry, guys. Trump is a bad president. OJ killed those two people, and the vaccination works. Your testicles will be fine. Those are my opinions, but don't quote me. I only am smart. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I judge people based on their sense of humor a great deal, which I know is probably not what I should do. It should be more on their like stuff that defines their character a bit more. But to me, if you're humorless, I have no use for you. I don't even know how to interact with you because I speak so sarcastically and joke so much that like if you have no sense of humor, you're just like so like I have to like take back. I have to go, I'm just kidding. Like after every single thing I say, I've had it with a handful of just students who are basically the only people I interact with really, where I have to go, yeah, you guys know I'm kidding, and like 99% of the room will be like, yeah, it's a joke, and then one person will be like, oh shit, Anyway, yeah, I love Norm, and The Onion, as always, had the best fucking headline. It was so good. Norm would have loved it. This is the headline. It said, Norm Macdonald sent to hell after making fun of God's friend OJ. That's perfect. That's literally perfect. He said him and Jim Downey, when they would do Weekend Update, their perfect joke was this idea to try and get the setup and the punchline to be as close to the same thing. And for you younger people, you won't get this, but his a good example of one that worked really well was Lyle Lovitz and Julia Roberts got divorced this weekend once Julia Roberts realized she was Julia Roberts and he was Lyle Lovitz. Look up a picture of Lyle Lovitz and Julia Roberts at that time, and you'll get it. But whatever, beauty's only skin deep, right? Okay, training in the forest, guys. Yeah, I love Norm, and if you're not, you're already probably watching all these clips because they're getting sent to you. Just do it. And if you don't have Netflix, just type in Norm Macdonald stand-up into your YouTube and watch some bits. Watch Sports Show. Watch, yeah, there's plenty. Watch his other Netflix show. Or the Norm Macdonald Show, the podcast. Oh, this sucks. One more try. Alright, guys. Don't take any shit from Big Acid. Goodbye, comedy. Take it easy, guys. 5 Favorite Fridays.